The Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series opens each season at the iconic Daytona International Speedway. Beginning in February, teams arrive in Daytona for nearly 2 weeks of racing action. These events are known collectively as Speedweeks and include the Daytona 500, as well as the season openers for NASCAR's other national series. But there's much more that goes into getting the NASCAR season started. Here's a rundown of what to expect for this year's Speedweeks. Speedweeks begins with practice sessions. This is the first chance for teams to try out the newest equipment on track. It's also the fans' first chance to get a look at new teams and drivers. Whether it's a new paint scheme or number, there are always lots of changes to look for at the beginning of the NASCAR season. After the early practice sessions, it's time for NASCAR's first official event of the season, the Advanced Auto Parts Clash. The Clash is an exhibition race that doesn't count towards a season-long championship. This invitation-only event has its own set of rules that you won't see in any other events. Since 1979, Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series teams have been invited to participate in this short, action-packed race to kick off the season. To earn an invitation to the Advanced Auto Parts Clash, a driver must have won a pole position during the previous season or be a previous winner of the Clash. Drivers who have won pole position for the Daytona 500 and drivers who have qualified for the chase in the previous year are also eligible to compete. The Clash is a short race which encourages aggressive, fast-paced racing. At just 75 laps, or just over 300 kilometers, drivers have little room for error. The race is split into 2 segments by a competition caution period at lap 25, leaving a 50-lap dash to the finish. Next up for Speedweeks is qualifying for the Daytona 500, NASCAR's biggest race of the year. The Daytona 500 is so big, it even gets its own qualifying format you won't see at any other track. Qualifying begins with single car time trials. Unlike the group qualifying format used for most Cup events, each car will take 2 laps on the track individually. The fastest 2 drivers will earn a spot on the front row of the Daytona 500. But everyone else still has some work to do to earn a spot in the field. The Can-Am Duel consists of 2 races of about 240 kilometers each. Based on their qualifying times, the field of drivers is split in half for a pair of qualifying races. Drivers who qualified in an odd number position compete in the first duel, and even numbered qualifiers go second. The finishing order of the first race sets the starting order for the inside line of the Daytona 500, while the second race sets the outside. This format can make for dramatic racing, as teams near the cut-off point in each duel battle for the final few starting positions. After the field is set for the Daytona 500, NASCAR's other national series takes center stage. First up, the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series begins their season with a 100-lap, 400-kilometer race. Next, the NASCAR Xfinity Series has a 120-lap, 480-kilometer event. Finally, Speedweeks wraps up with the Daytona 500, a 200-lap, 800-kilometer event that has been run each season since 1959. This race has offered some of NASCAR's most memorable moments throughout the years and is always a driver and fan favorite. So make sure to catch every lap of this season's Speedweeks.